guys, this is the Bearded Bastard here again, coming at you with another spicy deck profile, something rogue, something non-meta, something I have a lot of fun actually playing. I think you guys will if you actually try this too. Sitting here behind the camera, I have the Lumberjack.
Yep. What's up, guys?
And next to him, I have the Fairy, correct?
No, this is the,
sorry.
what was it? Horn Dog?
Horn Dog. I don't even know what we call you. We change his name every week, okay? Roll with the punches.
Yep.
Okay.
And sadly, I hate this deck with a passion.
Yeah, he hates this deck because it like outgrinds him on like every single deck he plays. It's pretty awesome. I'm playing Mekk-Knights, guys. Okay, so let's jump right into it. First, of course, you gotta run the 3 Purple Nightfall. This is the heart and soul of any Mekk-Knight deck. This gets you continuous advantage, banishes itself to search any of your Mekk-Knights from deck to hand, and then returns itself back to your field during your next standby phase.
And it can also banish itself during your opponent's turn to save itself.
Yes, it is a quick effect if it is ever targeted for anything, so it can banish itself, remove itself from the field to protect itself, kind of like a pseudo protection, but you don't really ever use it for that. You use it to use your further on your advantage, but it has that just in case you want the option. Continuing on, we have 3 Indigo Eclipse. This card, I would probably say second best Mekk-Knight in the deck. This is essential to doing down the lockdown strategy, which I'll show you guys with the spell and trap lineup that we actually play.
So annoying.
Because
everything in this deck is so annoying.
Yeah, because the whole thing revolves around him moving himself to other columns, and I'll show you guys
or others.
I'll show you guys later with the spell and trap lineup we play. And fun fact about him that a lot of people do not know is that he is a soft once per turn. So if you get 2 of him on the field, you can move Mekk-Knights up to 2 times. It's pretty busted, pretty busted. Next card is 3 Mekk-Knight Blue Sky. Normally I would not be running this card at 3 because it is usually dead going first, but we do play a monster to make it live going first, and I'll show you guys that coming up next. This is the only Mekk-Knights that I play 3 of because I feel like they generate the most advantage, whether going first or second. Oh yeah, my deck is not a dedicated either. I play cards to do either first or second.
And it does well doing both.
It does well doing both.
I hate to say that.
And as for my 1 of Mekk-Knights, I run the 1 Red Moon and the 1 Yellow Star. They're both searchable off the effect of Purple Nightfall or Blue Sky, and they're good for some extra disruption. He pops monsters in the column, same column. He pops spells in the spell or traps in the same column, both by banishing a Mekk-Knight from grave. Next, some spicy tech going on here. We have got 3 Prismatic Iron Dragon Tomaiton. This card's great. You manipulate so many columns in this deck. This card being a quick effect to summon itself.
They should have never made this card a quick effect.
To just like spit itself onto the board and like.
So like even if your opponent does a 3 column board, you just like no.
It's just like spit itself out, blow the whole column. The zones in that column can no longer be used, and if I have enough resources, one of the things I actually like to do is when going first is make, if I have this card in hand, I'll make Avramax and then special summon him to the column in the other extra monster zone, and it's essentially a lockdown because they can't attack into him while Avramax is on the field, and they're not going to want to attack into Avramax. It's pretty awesome. Okay, as for one of the cards that's my normal summon in the deck, I run 3 Nightmare Corruptor Ibli. This card is awesome. This card stops Nibiru. That's why I bumped it up to 3, because this is one of the ways that you make Mekk-Knight Blue Sky live going turn 1. You just normal summon the Ibli, link it away for the Link Disciple that I'm playing, and then special summon Ibli to the opponent's side of the field in the same column, and it makes your Blue Sky live turn 1, which is pretty busted.
No mining?
No mining, too expensive.
You have a couple of Cyrus monsters in here. So.
Yeah, but it's not. I feel like mining. I don't run enough Cybers to really like benefit from trying to take out cards to run mining. Like, it's a good card, don't get me wrong, but if I was running a much heavier Cyberse lineup, then I would like probably run it. I see these often enough as it is to where I feel like I don't need mining.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, guys, stops Nibiru, busted card. The other two normal summons I run are the 2 Draconet. I took this down to 2 because this is what actually helps you open with a better full combo going first or second, but you go through more than 5 summons with this combo, so it is more prone to getting hit by Nibiru and stuff like that. So only 2 Draconet, still a really good card, gets you a lot of advantage. And as for my one-of monsters, the target for Draconet is the Crown by the World Chalice. Bring this out, make Ib, search any of your World Legacy spell or trap cards. It's pretty awesome. And then we run the 1
World Legacy World Chalice.
World Legacy World Chalice. The reason we run that is because after we link Ib off, we get the special summon of the Lee the World Phallus Cherry, and Lee the World Phallus Cherry adds the World Legacy World Chalice from deck to hand, and we use this as discard fodder for our second Mekk-Knight of the Morning Star. That way we don't have to like get rid of any of the resources in our hand that we actually really want to keep. We just run multiple copies of Mekk-Knight of the Morning Star. That way we can still pitch this card, which is pretty much dead in our hand, and then use its grave effect during the next main phase. One of the spicy techs in the monsters that I actually like using, because it's almost always live in this deck, is 1 Guardian of Order. If you guys don't know what this card does, it came out in the new Battles of Legends set that came out this year. Basically, if you control 2 light monsters, you can special summon them from the hand.
This entire deck is light.
This entire deck is light, except for this thing. And it's not a once per turn summon. You can only control one of them, but if you link it away and you're running multiple copies, you can just continue spitting them out from the hand. 2500 body, level 8, can do XYZ plays with it. It's pretty great. Moving on to the spell lineup. I run triple Instant Fusion. Helps me create a column, helps me either go first or second. I run 2 targets for it. Those targets being Thousand-Eyes Restrict and Millennium-Eyes Restrict. It's almost never dead. Continuing on, we got the 3 Called by the Graves. I know they're not prismatic, but
I know, man.
I still think the supers look not half bad. I'm trying to get prismatics, but we'll see when that actually comes along. I hate getting hand trapped. Hand traps suck. So I don't mind seeing this in my opening hand, even if it's double. 2 World Legacy Succession. I chose to.
Prismatic.
1 is prismatic, 1 is ultra. I pulled a lot of these in the Megatens that I opened, but I'm running them in other decks, and I run 2 instead of the 1 in the 1 Monster Reborn because this is searchable almost through a lot of my Mekk-Knight cards in deck. 2 World Legacy's Memory.
Broken.
Special summons a Mekk-Knight from hand or deck, but returns it to the hand at the end phase, and it also locks you into only special summoning Mekk-Knights for the turn, which isn't half bad because the way you like to play this deck is to like control the board and control the game state. Like, if you have this set and you already have your 1 Indigo on field, and you already used your Indigo's effect to move it to another zone, bring out another Indigo while you have your secret set and you negate multiple monsters' effects. I am still running 1 Monster Reborn though, just because I had an extra slot and I decided to put it in last minute. But yeah, got the prismatic on that there. So, and for the last one of Mekk-Knight spell, I run World Legacy Key. This one, like the other Mekk-Knight spells, has an activation effect. I get to return a banished Mekk-Knight from banished zone to hand, and it negates. What does it negate? Spell cards?
Spell cards, I believe. He doesn't even use it that much.
Yeah, I don't even actually go into this one that much. This one actually negates traps in the same column as a Mekk-Knight. And actually, speaking of traps, we're moving on to the trap lineup. Okay. The number 1 card you're going to search off your Mekk-Knight of the Morningstar, if you do not open it, is your World Legacy Secret. This card plus Morningstar and Indigo Eclipse equals Very Angry Opponent.
Yes. I hate it with a passion.
Very Angry Opponent, because it's a monster reborn. It lets you reborn any level 5 monster in the level 5 or higher monster in the graveyard, and any monster effect that would be activated in the same column as a Mekk-Knight is negated. And since Indigo Eclipse can move himself to other main zones and other Mekk-Knights, it's busted, guys. This card is stupid. The one actual pseudo hand trap that we run is 3 Infinite Impermanence. I don't main deck any actual hand traps. I chose to do this one because if I go first, I don't have any other cards to make a column I can set it. So it helps me make a column going first. It's utterly broken. You guys know what this card does. Negates monster effects. Negates other cards if it's set in the same column. We also run 2 Crackdown. I'm debating bumping this up to 3 because I honestly feel like it's really good, this format.
It is very good. I like it.
Like, you steal just that 1 key monster from your opponent's combo, and they're just like
you can
done
grab
for the turn.
What's the first guard dragon you summon?
The first guard dragon
LP?
before you try to activate is LP.
Okay. Yeah, so you just steal their LP and you're
Still their LP
done.
and they just like cry.
Yep.
And the last thing is the World Legacy Whispers. This is the other Mekk-Knight card that we run at a 1 of because it is searchable. And this one actually negates spell and traps in the same column as a mech. Oh, spell and no, this one's spell.
I think it's funny, it does the opposite.
Yeah.
One does traps, the other does spells.
Yeah, the spell negates traps in the same column, and the trap negates spells in the same column. It's kind of confusing, but
yeah.
Yeah.
You think it would do the same thing, but hey.
This one also lets you buff a Mekk-Knight with a level 5 or higher with 1,000 attack or defense for the turn. That's its activation effect. Alright, that's it for the main deck, guys. I'm running a 43 card build. I don't think I would cut anything at this point because
You would make it 44 if I put in another Crackdown.
I often don't have dead hands. Like, I usually see something to go into combo.
You run so many
Mekk
Mekk-Knights though. That's the thing.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to the extra deck. Okay. Starting off, we have the 1 Link Karibo. This is for the instant fusion play after I either make Millenniumize Restrict or Thousand-Eyes Restrict. Whether I'm going first or second, if I steal something or not, I will 9 times out of 10 link it away for Link Karibo just because instant fusion prevents you from attacking with it. Then we have the 1 Link Disciple.
Instead of Mermaid.
Instead of Mermaid because I don't like my monster's attacks being lowered by 1,000. And this achieves the same thing, helps me create a column, has a downward pointer to special summon another monster, and yeah. This one's the one I link off for the Nightmare Mermaid, or Nightmare Corruptor Italy, my bad. We do run 1 Nightmare Phoenix. You guys know what this card does. It's been out for a long time. Pop spells and traps, really easy to go into. And we run 3 Mekk-Knight of the Morningstar because we like outgrinding our opponents.
Yes.
I go against Lumberjack with this deck often, all the time, and sad to say for him, he does not come out victorious very often.
Not very often. Just because of its stupid protection.
Yes. So if you guys don't know, the activation effect is to send a World Legacy card or a Mekk-Knight from hand to grave to add a World Legacy card or a Mekk-Knight. But its continuous protection effect is if another monster battles any of your Mekk-Knights in a different column, they cannot be destroyed by battle and you take no battle damage from it. So him on board with Indigo being able to move himself or Morningstar, often like you take no battle damage, you're negating monster effects. It's just like you're literally in control of the game.
Broken.
For the Link 3s, we run the one Unicorn. It's great. It gets rid of problems.
There's no Cerberus?
No Cerberus. Don't need Cerberus. Most of the Mekk-Knights can like beat over almost everything. Gets rid of problematic cards on the field, shuffles them back.
Non-targeting.
Non-targeting. The one Mekk-Knight Spectrum Supreme.
Also broken.
This card is also pretty busted. If he's not pointing to anything, then he can't be targeted or destroyed by card effects.
No, I thought it was the same column.
No. If he's not pointing to anything,
Oh.
if he's the only, his other effect is if he's the only card in his column, he can attack directly.
3K to the face.
3K to the face.
Just casual day in Mekk-Knights.
And if he like doesn't point to anything, then you just have like really good protection for him. They basically have to go into Borlo to get rid of him. We run the one Mekk-Knight Crusadia Abramax. He's
busted card.
really easy to make in this deck. Like I said, one of the things I like to do is that even though if I'm going first, I like to overextend into him and into Iron Dragon Tamiyatin on the other side. That way they can't special summon anything from the extra deck because I'm taking the main zone and the Tamayatins in the other column. And they can't attack the Tamiyatin. Yeah, it's pretty annoying to get over, to say the least.
Yep. I had to face it one time, and I had to Abramax and Abramax. That was fun.
We do run the one Borlo Dragon. Stealing problematic monsters mainly. This deck doesn't really have very many problematic monsters that I need to go into this
It's
for
just there.
against the matchup. It's just the same principle, you know, better to have it, not need it, than need it and not have it. I do run 2 rank 8s because most of the main Mekk-Knight core are level 8s, not to mention the Guardian of Order. I run a number 38 Hope Harbinger and a number 23 Lancelot. This is another kind of pseudo effect. If I can't go into the Mekk-Knight Abramax, I'll make him first turn with the Tamiyatin, and then if they try to attack the Tamiyatin, I'll force them to attack this with his effect. So achieves the same desired effect of locking them down with the Tamiyatin and my other monster in the extra deck zone. And this is basically for just going into time. Like if we're going into a stall game and I have to like get that last bit of life point damage done in to attack directly with him, and he negates anything that they try to activate or in response. The 2 instant fusion targets, Millennium Eyes Restrict and Thousand Eyes Restrict. This card's great going first, stops hand traps. This card's great going first or second. I'll usually link these into a Link Karibo after if I make them. And the last 15th card is the one Ib for the Draconet play. Alright, that is the main and extra. I do have a little bit of a side. It's not too competitive, but I'll show you guys anyway. So mainly the cards that I side are extras of the Mekk-Knight Negation Continuous cards that, depending on what I'm actually playing, I will want to see more of them rather than actually search them. I do try One World Legacy Scars. I was able to get this effect, this going first effect, off once, and I sent my entire opponent's hand and extra deck to the graveyard.
Oh,
it's utterly annoying.
that is annoying.
But it's
I've seen that happen before.
yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah, your entire extra deck's in the grave now. What?
I mean, I might take this out. I almost never side this anymore. My deck is potent enough. I don't need the attack boost. I don't really, yeah, I'm probably gonna take this out. The third memory, in case I need more special summons, I don't know. The other 2 keys, if I'm playing against a very like trap heavy deck, like Lumberjack's Dark Magician deck.
Yeah. which has actually become more trap heavy.
Yeah, it's his deck is like 70% traps. It's kind of ridiculous. Like,
I wouldn't say 70.
I'll side the other 2 of these in. I do side.
I would say 50.
The other 2 Whispers for spell heavy decks. Sky Striker. It's the bane of their existence.
Yep, that and Secret Village.
Yep. The third secrets, in case monster effect heavy decks.
Since I already run 2.
Since I already run 2, the third crackdown. Just in case.
Probably gonna throw that in.
Just in case I want to be that troll guy. And I'm debating on putting this back in, but if I put this back in, I'm gonna have to run the Link Spider again. I like the option of having a searchable Mekk-Knight that's normal summonable, in case like the columns are kind of scarce in late game. But I'm still playtesting to figure out if I actually want to do it or not. And then the other Guardian of Order and another Mekk-Knight Red Moon, just for popping more monsters. Alright guys, that is my Mekk-Knight deck profile for the September 2019 format. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like, comment if there's any way that you are playing this deck, things you think I should do different, things you think I may have missed. Remember to hit that thumbs up. This is the Bearded Bastard signing out.